Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you? Well, I am feeling much better from yesterday and the day before, so I'm thankful for that. Um, I'm down here in Garland. Why does that keep going light and dark? I'm down here in Garland. Behind me is a plaza with like the Dollar Tree, and there used to be a Tuesday morning, and there's a Subway, and there's an iPlace, and there's the vet that did monster surgery a couple years ago. But also in that plaza is a little drive-through coffee shop that I discovered about a month ago on my way back home from Garland from getting chicken feed. The reason why I mean, I have seen it before, but I've never gotten anything from there. But about a month ago, I did because they had a big banner out saying any size coffee $1. Could you believe that? And so that day I got a coffee and it's delicious. And I mean for $1, well, actually $1.08 because of tax. Um, so while I was down here this morning in Garland doing a couple things, and right in this area, I stopped there right now to get a coffee while I call you up. Look at, they got it decorated for Christmas, and they put a little, let's see if I can show you without ripping it. They put a little sticker on top of the cups um, that have a smiley face and drinking a cup of coffee. Can you see that? Maybe not. But I took one off before and I put it here on my car. Oh, you know what? I wonder if my battery is low. I should have checked because it might run out while I'm doing this video, but I had it um, plugged into the car charger. Why are you doing that? I wonder if that's what it is, and I don't want to press anything, but I have so much to tell you. Should I just keep it going? Now it's not doing it. Let me wait a second and see. I feel a sneeze now. I don't have an, oh, I do have a napkin. Okay. Just in case. I guess it's when I move. Here it comes. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it must be when I'm moving. I thought I am feeling better. This is probably just the end of whatever. Got some sanitizer. Huh. I hope it, oh no. I wonder if let's see, if I press this one. No, I better not press anything. I'm just gonna try to get through it. This is very ironic because, let's see, last week I pulled into this same spot and I I wish I could show it to you. I tried in that video and I ended up cutting it off. I don't know how to reverse this when I'm doing a video. But right here at the edge of this parking lot is two nice big shade trees, two picnic tables that are chained to the trees, and a garbage can that looks like it needs to be emptied. And when I was talking to you last week, right at this same parking spot, the second parking spot, right in front of this picnic table. Oh, I was going on and on and on and on and on, and all of a sudden, well, there's a road right in front. I just got a text. There's a road in front, and they don't go very fast. And there was a car that went, and then a white pickup truck, a big one, and then two cars behind it. Well, when that white pickup truck got right past this, past my window, ouch, past my window, what a loud noise. Now, it was not a blowout noise, but it sounded like something on the truck fell off. But when I looked, I didn't see anything. And the car behind it almost hit the truck because the truck had to slam on its brakes. And I thought, every time just about that I do a video somewhere, something goes on. And well, the two cars that were behind the truck went around the truck, and I waited, and I was still talking to you. I was asking you if you heard that noise. And the truck put on its four-way flashes, and the driver was trying to get out of the door, but the door wouldn't open all the way. And I'm watching over here, making sure I don't see no flames or no smoke, because I didn't know what happened. And well, then a car came. The person must have called someone, because it appeared like they knew each other. And a car came, and a guy got out and was trying to open the door, and I could see it was an older lady that was driving. And they were trying to open the door, and you could hear like that door probably was going to fall off if they kept trying. Anyway, the man went in the front of the truck, driver's side, which was facing me. And now look it. I don't know how I can show you. Oh, they're not going to sit there. Okay. I mean, if they wanted to sit, they could. It's a public picnic table. But there's some guys. SPS is what it says on their vest. And they must be maybe for the water department or something. And they were walking across. I thought he was holding a thermos. He's holding a can of spray paint. I thought they were going to sit there and have their lunch, but they're just walking and marking different spots. Anyway, well, the guy was trying to move that front tire. Apparently, it looked like to me like maybe the lady's CV joint went, because her tire, instead of it caving in, it caved out, which can happen with a bad CV joint. Trust me. One time back home, I had a Toyota Corolla, I think it was. And I was coming down a hill, and my passenger side CV joint went out. Thank God it was the passenger side, because when it went out, my car went that way, and all that was over there was a sidewalk, and no one was walking on the sidewalk. Thank God it wasn't like another lane. That hill only had 2 lanes going down and coming up. So I'm coming down the hill, and my CV joint went out, and a friend of mine was coming down this way. It just happened to be that way, and he was able to stop, and he made sure I was okay, and then he had AAA and called AAA, and they came and towed my car. But so what I'm saying is, last week when I called you up and was having a good conversation with you, that happened right at this same spot. That truck had a little incident. So I hope I can get through this video without incident. But what I was telling you, I'm going to tell you what I was talking to you about last week, because it has a little bit to do with, or on the same kind of topic, maybe not, that I want to tell you about today. Last week, you know Jeanette from DOY Creations. Such a great creator, such a great person, such an encourager, motivator, so talented. And I was in her live that morning, or maybe the morning before. And when she saw me come in, she thanked me for doing a video I had done the week before that I ended up taking down. And it was a video that I had seen this couple and their dog in my town sitting out in an island, apparently or obviously going through some hard times. Now, they didn't have any signs up asking for nothing, but it's very unusual in my town especially to see that, unless, you know, someone's going through something. And they had their jackets laid out on the ground in the sun. All I could think of was they're trying to get their jackets warm for when the sun goes down. They had a blanket spread out, and he had a guitar. He wasn't playing it. They were eating sandwiches. And I just felt led of God to go into Walmart. Where they were, Walmart is right there. And I bought a couple bottles of water and some dog food, like a can or two of dog food. And I bought them some fruit cups where you can just tear open, you know, nothing that you'd need a can opener for. And maybe I got a couple other things. I forget, to tell you the truth. But I didn't spend much money. I didn't have much money. But I just know that I felt impressed by God to do it. And I went back around and I put down my window, and the man came over. He saw I had the bag, you know, for them. And I told them that that was from Jesus. And I could tell he was really touched. We didn't have time to talk. It's a busy intersection. He just said that they had just recently lost their apartment and were really struggling. And I felt that he was telling the truth. It's what I felt. Anyway, I had done a video talking about that. Not to lift me up. Not at all. I guess just saying maybe we need to be more aware of. Now, I said in that video, we have to use the wisdom that God's given us, and if we don't feel like we have any, the Bible tells us to ask for wisdom because we don't want to put ourselves in situations. You know what I mean? Bible tells us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We got to know, you know, what we're doing, where we're going to do something good. We have to be aware. Anyway, I forget all that I shared in that video. However, apparently it really encouraged Jeanette, and she spoke about that. And she was encouraging people to come over to my channel and see that video, and I had to break the news to her that I had taken it down. Let me tell you, that didn't go over good with her. She's feisty. Jeanette, you're feisty. But in a good way. The reason why I took it down was I had a couple comments. Now, I know, and we all know, if you're a creator, you put yourself out here when you get on these streets. For those that like you and those that don't like you. You have to just know how you're going to handle things, you know. Anyway, now I didn't take it down because my feelings got hurt. Trust me. Someone made a comment saying that the Bible says when we do things, not to let one hand know what the other hand is doing. And that's true. And then someone else jumped on that person's bandwagon and said that I was lifting myself up and bragging about my good deeds. And then someone jumped on those two people's bandwagons and left a nasty comment. So the reason why I took it down was, now I could have just deleted those three and just kept the video up, but I didn't want to have to keep going back there and deleting, you know, things like that. And also I got to thinking about it. Now, God knew my motive First of all, nothing is hid from God, right? My motive was not to get up there and do a video bragging about what I did for them. Not at all. Someone put, I think the third comment was that I had mentioned I had car issues, and still do. Like, the inspection for last month is due, and there I am spending, money on those people. Well, I spent very little when you think about it. I think it came under $10 is what I spent on them. And that is not going to fix my car issues. It won't even pay for an inspection sticker, what I spent on them. And I know that if I had not obeyed God, I would have the picture of that couple and that hungry dog in my mind until God took it out. You know what? I'd be under conviction that I didn't obey God. God owns it all. God owns that money that I spent on those people. And I know I did the right thing. And so anyway, now, Jeanette wanted me to go back and see if I still had the video to put it up, and I don't, because I keep cleaning out my phone not to take up storage, and I guess I deleted it. But if Jeanette sees this video, she'll know what I'm talking about. And she was encouraging me and other people not to let these negative people put out your light. You love God, you love people, you want to do the right thing, and so what if you make a video about it? My purpose is to encourage other people. It sure is not to lift me up, because if you follow me, you know I'm a mess. I get that brain fog and I forget words in mid-sentence, and I can't do tutorials. I'm just a mess. I don't have a whole lot of good content to offer, but what I have to offer you is that I'm very transparent, and I offer you sharing with you things that I go through, but how God brings me through it all, and that's my purpose. Now let me tell you, this morning, because Aldi is on my way, to where I was going. Now, I hardly ever shop at Aldi. I know some people really brag about it, but it's not a place I do my groceries at. I go to Kroger. But I will run into Aldi every now and then, especially in the summer. I do find they have delicious grapes and delicious strawberries. But this morning I ran in there. And there was a lady. She looked about 17, but you can never tell. And she had a sign that she has 4 hungry kids and can people help her. And she was standing right at the door as you go in. Well, there was several people ahead of me. By the time you put your quarter in a buggy and get your buggy out, and sometimes they're jammed. I didn't need a buggy, but there was people getting buggies and they were having a hard time. And anyway, there was several of us going in, and there was an elderly lady in front of me. I just felt so bad. She probably was in her 70s, this elderly lady, and she was motioning for me to go ahead of her because I didn't have a buggy, but I told her, no, you go ahead and take your time. And I was right behind her. As she's going in, this lady standing there with the sign flashes the sign at this elderly lady, and then, because the elderly lady didn't acknowledge her, I guess, she called out to her and said, I need some money. My kids are hungry. Well, the elderly lady, she just kept on going. And that lady standing there asking for money said a whole bunch of cuss words about that elderly woman. And I just kept walking and got in that store, and there was 2 women behind me and a man behind them. You know, I'm always aware of my surroundings. It's just where I grew up and how I grew up. So the two women behind me that were coming into the store together, I could hear them talking to each other about that woman outside. And the man that was behind those two women jumped into their conversation. Now we're all walking behind one another down the produce. And I didn't bother to get into the conversation, but I was listening. So I got 3 things that I needed, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just going to ask for a manager, because in my town, that's not allowed. If the police see that, they move the people on. In fact, the police have, on social media and other ways, they have put out, I guess you'd say, awareness. I don't want to say a warning. It sounds kind of not scary, but, well, they've made our community aware that there is a group of certain people that have come into town, and they're walking up and down the islands that are in the road and hanging out in front of different places with these kinds of signs. And sometimes the signs have pictures of a kid, and the sign will say that they need money to help bury the kid, and they'll be holding candles. And it's a group of them, and they spread out. Now, this is from the police. Well, I was not sure if Aldi is in my town or if it's in the next town, because of how these town lines run. So I thought, I'm just going to ask the manager if he's aware of that lady, because she's really now harassing, people. So I found this kid, and usually this kid is very nice. He's waited on me or cashed me out before. I said, and I wasn't sure if he was a manager. He was stocking shelves, but I have met a manager there before that also stocked shelves. So I asked him, are you a manager? He said, no, but I can help you. So I explained, to him. And he said, okay, I'll go and ask her to move along. I trusted he was going to do that, right? So I cashed out and went outside, and as I'm going out the door, she starts calling out to me, this woman does, that she's hungry, her kids are hungry, and that I already walked by her going in and didn't give her anything. So she's very aggravated at me, and she's saying that to me while other people are going in that are just going by, and she's starting to do obscene gestures to people and calling people all kinds of names. So I thought it shut off. I went back into the store. I just came out one door and turned around and went in the other to go back, and I still had my receipt in my hand and my 3 items. And I found that kid, and I said, I just wanted you to know that she is really out of control now. There may be a mental health issue, because she is really, it's badgering people now. Name calling and obscene gestures when people are coming in and out of your store. I said, do you allow that? And he said, well, there's really nothing we can do. I said, I know that that's not true. So he says, well, I'll try again. This time I walked with him. I mean, we were walking side by side, and when he got to the door, there was another worker there putting in the those plastic containers you can buy with the mixed fruit. She was stocking that, and he stopped, and he mumbled something to her. I'm sure it was about me, and he started acting like he was helping her. Well, he was already busy stocking shelves when I went to him the first and second time. So he already has a job to do where he was at. Now he's just acting like he's going to help her. And she turns to me and she says, well, he can try, to ask her to move along. But if she doesn't, there's really nothing that we can do. And I says to her, how about calling the non-emergency police number? And then the kid spoke up. The guy said, oh, we wouldn't want the police out here. And I says, well, if you don't want to call, I'm sure going to call. And I said, this does not say much for your store that you're going to allow that. I says, hey, I have thick skin. I can take it and keep walking and be on my way. But when I came in, she was very rude to an elderly person. And people behind me were not too happy about it. Well, the lady worker says, well, no one else has complained about it. I don't know if that was true or not. I'm sure that those two women said something. And I told her, well, it should only take one complaint for something like this, because the woman has really gotten out of hand. So I looked back at the young man worker. I said, are you going to go out there and try to say something again? I said, I'll go with you. So we went outside together. Right away, as soon as she saw me, she starts pointing a finger at me, saying that I'm crazy, and I wouldn't give her any money. He, you could tell, did not know how to handle it. Now, I didn't engage in anything with her. I just stood there to see if he's going to say anything. And he did, but not in a very assertive way. He was just saying, no, you can't be calling people's names, and you can't sit here or stand here. And she was saying, it's just for today. I just need food from today. When people come out, they have food, and I need their food. And she was getting very agitated. And so he says to her, I really would like you to move. And I figured I'm going to go on my way now, because maybe me standing there with him is making her more aggravated. But she really was already aggravated. And I told him, I said, I'm going to call the non-emergency police number. And he said, no, don't do that. I said, I'm going to do that. And when I got in my car, I called, and I could see her walking away from the doorway. I didn't know where she went. Well, I called the town's non-emergency police number that I thought I was in. And when I gave the store name and the intersection numbers, see, one has a street, one has a number. The lady said, oh, you're in Wiley. Wiley's where I live. So she said, I'm going to connect you over to Wiley PD. So she did. And then I had my phone on speaker because I'm holding it in my hand because I'm wanting to leave the parking lot. So I went down this way and then this way. You could go this way, but I don't know why I'm telling you which way I went. Lo and behold, I get to the intersection and I get the red light. I'm the only car at the red light. No one ahead and no one behind. But who is standing on the side? That lady. And what does she do? She comes over and starts kicking my car. And I have the police on the phone. And I've already explained, and I said how the manager very nicely asked her to move, and eventually she did. But I said, now I'm talking to you. I'm at the red light, nothing I can do, and she's kicking my car. Well, that has to be the longest red light in Texas, because I was there a good minute or more. And then what does this lady do? She reaches into her pocket. Now, you never know, especially down here. And she takes out her phone, and I don't know if she was recording me, but she was acting like she was recording me, which I don't care. Maybe she has a YouTube channel, and she'll put me on there, and I'll get some subscribers. Hey, God can turn evil into good. And I'm telling the police I said, and now she reached into her pocket and, okay, she pulled out her cell phone and it looks like she's recording me. I don't know if she is, but my light has turned green and I'm going on my way. Of course, before all that, the police had asked my name and number and I gave that to the lady officer. But you know, in that case, I really feel like I did the right thing, because if she is that out of control, someone is going to come along there and not handle it in a good way. I mean, there are people are under all kinds of stresses, and some people are just short-tempered. And her name calling people and doing gestures could really set someone off where they will just duke it out. You hear about things all the time. And especially her reaching into her pocket. Down here in Texas, we have open carry. You go into stores, certain stores, and you see people with their weapon. And so her reaching into her pocket like that, if there was someone else in that situation that did have a weapon, they would have been reaching into their pocket and they wouldn't be pulling out their cell phone. And so really, for her protection, I know that she didn't think of it that way, and the manager or that young kid and young lady working at Aldi didn't think of it that way, but for her protection, the police had to be called. So I think I did the right thing. But this particular group of people, we don't really have them in my town because the police have put out this advising us about them, warning us. But the next town over, which is just across the light from where this happened, that town is full of this group of people. And I know that the police there are trying to resolve it, because I know a cop in that town. And they're trying to resolve it. The thing is it just seems that it's like a whole group of them, like a caravan. And it has been said by the police that they will drop off a couple of the ladies with their signs. And even in the summer, they have had women there with little kids sitting on the ground in that hot summer sun. And the lady will be walking up and down holding the sign. And those kids are just melting in that sun. And so the police have been watching, and what they said in one thing that they put out was that they saw these women get dropped off and men driving these fancy SUVs, you know, and like Denali's and all those, and they'll go park in a parking lot close by to where they can watch these women, you know, asking for money. And I guess you'd call it's some kind of ring, like not a ring you wear, but like a ring, like a circus ring. But I'm not trying to be ugly to them, but I'm just trying to think of the word to describe that. It's a whole group of them all together, all the same nationality, it looks like. And it's really gotten out of control in that town or city, I guess it is, that's next to, right past that light, to where this happened. So that's why I thought that was the police I should have called. But whew, I mean, I'm just really thinking about that woman. She could really get herself hurt by acting out of control that way towards certain people. I mean, there are people that just will not put up with that. And people shouldn't have to put up with it, but people handle things all different ways. You know, let me tell you, I've not always been so temperate, long-suffering, patient, understanding. I've not always been this way. If that was way back when I was like 14, 15, she would have seen a different side of me that wouldn't have been good. And but thank God I've been redeemed. And I look at things different. You just hear about it all the time. This one has been injured in a fight. This one has been injured with people pulling out weapons. And then the investigation starts and they find out it happened over the smallest thing, a dirty look or a cuss word or a bad gesture. People just fly off the handle and they will take your life. Some people will do it. You don't know the mental status of people. So, and now around the holiday time, you know, people really, really get stressed out. I was reading something. Are you still here? I was reading something the other day where this man, this was a few years back, he took a survey around Christmas time asking people in stores, like, what are you most thankful for this time of year? Or what are your thoughts when it comes to this time of year? You know, he's a Christian man, but he wasn't trying to point them to Jesus or talk about his faith. He was being very candid, I guess is the word, because he wanted people, you know, to be honest. And so he put down on this article that I was reading how people were saying that the thing they look forward to this time of the year is the end of the year, that we're going to be starting a new year. Another person said that they were looking forward to getting all their Christmas shopping done. So the answers were like that. Oh, so people were missing the whole point of this time of the year. I mean, every day, all year should be about Jesus, but you know what I mean. And so yeah, we don't know what is on people's minds, and just have to pray. Oh God, be a fence around me every day, fence of protection. Well, I just got a thing on my phone and it says your battery is running low. Some features may be limited. So I better let you go.